Okay, we'll go over how to make the icon for Xcode. For the tab menu, here we go. So again, if you want to steal, we can steal here. Let's do airplane. Airplane icon. There we go. Which one's a good one? What one do you like? This one with the propeller? How about this one with the propeller? Okay, so to take a screen capture of this, because we don't have an account, we use that Command Shift 4. It gives us our little crosshair, and we draw a box around what we want to steal. And it takes a picture. And where does it go? Well, it goes on the desktop right here. So one of the things about the icon, if we look at it, you'll notice that it is kind of transparent with artwork and solid. So one of the things is you got to make sure that inside here is transparent and not solid. There's no artwork in there. That's why I use the white when we convert it to an object and we say ignore white. That way there's no white in there at all and it's just transparent, right? So here we go. So let's go to Illustrator, and again it was like 28 by 28 pixels, I think it was. So we start with a new file, new, and we go 28 pixels by 28 pixels. Make sure the measurement is in pixels here. I think that's the other thing. Some of you left it in points there. Make sure it says pixels here as well. Pixel, pixel, pixel. And then of course down under advanced, make sure it's RGB. RGB. So again, pixel, 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 RGB. Then to bring our artwork in, I'm going to use the place option. Place is located underneath File, Place, and then we go and find our screenshot, which should be on the desktop automatically, right? It's on the desktop. So I'm going to go and I'm going to place it in there by going under, again, it should be on the desktop, find your artwork that you stole, and then I'm going to draw a box, of that. Maybe not too big, maybe not too big, maybe a little bit smaller, because I'm going to put a line around the outside, right? So maybe something like that, maybe a little bigger. There we go, something like that, maybe just a hair bigger. Okay, so I'm going to convert this to vector. So again, I brought this in by using the place option, right? And I'm going to convert this to vector using the image trace option. To go to image trace or find image trace, we go underneath Window, Image Trace, right there, see Image Trace. Then in the image trace, if you don't see it, it might be jammed over here. You might need to move it around. I'm going to make sure it's black and white, and then right here where it says ignore white, I want to make sure that's selected. Then you can hit preview or trace, and it makes it into a vector. Next, we want to make sure that the objects are all just plain objects. So to make sure that they're plain objects, I'm going to go underneath Object, Expand. That makes it into a plain object. See how it says plain object there? Boom. There it is, plain object. Okay, so this is our main object here. It's on a white background. But this is not really white. It's transparent. I think some of the problems that we had if it came out solid in Xcode is because you had artwork in there. You want to make sure this is transparent. See, nothing. I click here, there's nothing here, nothing here. So to make it a little bit more interesting, you can use just this if you want. You don't even have to put the line around it. I mean, we could just save this as it is right now. I can just hit Save As and make it as a PDF, right? And this we call it airplane. You don't need to make that line if you don't want to. It's just that line makes it a little bit more predominant. But if you just save this as it is, I'm sure you could just bring it into Xcode as it is right now, and without even putting the line around it. Let's move this around. Let's move this around. Okay, I can't. Oh, there it is. No, that's a screenshot. Oh boy. Oh boy. Maybe this is it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, so here it is. Without even the line around it, we can bring the airplane in. There it is. See how the airplane came in? And then you can use that inside of your thing. So right now I got about me. I can change that to airplane. And see, you don't need a line. It's just that line makes it so that it looks more like a button, that's all. So you got an airplane right there now. Or if you wanted the line, let's go back to the airplane here in Illustrator. If you want to make the line, here's what you need to do for the line. Again, I'm using the round rectangle because it kind of looks nice if it's round. To make the round rectangle the exact same size, remember this is 28 pixels by 28 pixels. And then I don't want to fill, but I just want to stroke. I can swap this. I want black here and nothing here. See, no with the red through it. No here, black there. To make the line kind of nice, I'm going to click in the corner. I'm not going to drag. I'm going to click. And again, if you make it the right size, 28 by 28 pixels, and for some reason I use 3 as the radius, look kind of nice. So 28 pixels by 28 pixels by 3, and if I hit OK, it gives me that. Now, of course, here's the problem is that the stroke line goes all the way around, right? You want it to go on the inside. So how I got it to go on the inside is by using the stroke properties. And if you go under Window, Stroke, you'll notice there is some properties here for stroke right there. And if we go right here, this is inside right here. See, this is out. This is middle, inside, and this is outside. We want inside so that the line goes on the inside. Now we need to line this up a little bit so it lines up nicely. There we go. Line that up nicely like that. So now we have a stroke, and you might even need to line it up just even a little bit more. There we go. That's even better. So now we have a line going around it. It looks like a normal button. And again, I would say nothing here, transparent there. And I know I made a selected one, but I don't really know why I did that because they had one. So we need to figure out that. So if I go under File, Save As. Again, I'm going to make it a PDF right here. So I'm going to call it Airplane 2. We'll call it Airplane 2. And then again, here's the icon, and I called it Airplane 2. And then I can go into Xcode, and then we can bring that in if I can find it. Let's hide this. Let's hide this. And what do I called Airplane 2. Let's put it over there. Let's bring up our Xcode. Let's bring in our assets. Let's put in a plane. There it is, Airplane 2. There he is. And so then if it's an Airplane 2, let's go to our storyboard, and here's our plane right there, and let's call it Airplane 2. There we go. Now it has a line around it. So that looks a little bit more of a button. Now I know it's blue, and it'd be nice if we know how to change it and so on. So I don't know. I'll have to look at these options here. Some color here. Does that change anything? No, it doesn't change anything there. There's probably a way to change the color. Oh, and here's the selected image. Maybe that's where we put our other one in there. See, selected image. Remember, you were asking about that. Maybe this is where you put the selected image. See how it's a selected image up there? Remember the one they had one called selected? Maybe that's where you put it up there. I don't know. I don't know. Let's test and see. Well, I don't have another one to select. I only have one, so I can't change it. I don't know. Let me do some reading and see if I can figure out why there's a selected one. But did that help you again? I did it a couple times. I'll save this and put it on YouTube. Here we go. Right now, I'm going to stop.